Oh,
Well,
okay, let's go. Welcome. Hi and welcome. It's Amanda here. Welcome to Arts and Wellness Café. I was going to say Wednesday, but it's not Wednesday. Yeah, welcome to Arts and Wellness Café. I'm so glad that you could join me. I hope that you are comfortable. Where's my tea? I've got my... Oh, I finished. I've got a cup of ordinary tea and a cup of herbal tea, lemongrass to be exact. Anyway, so have we had some rain or what? It's just been crazy. Last night it rained, it must have rained for at least 5-6 hours, and I went outside with Cole, and this is the second time I've been out with him in the rain. And he just loves it. I didn't realise he loved going out there so much. And I think, well, I'm not sure whether it's the towel rub down. It's like a little massage for him anyway, that he gets afterwards. But seeing him, he's leaping around like a gazelle. It's really funny to watch. And, you know, obviously the grass is wet, and our grass, I'll be doing a around the garden tour, end of the month kind of catch up to show you the garden. The grass is just like, I mean, it's been a month, 3 weeks since it's been cut, but the so let's fly there. It's like this fly. It's anyway. So the grass, it was 3 weeks before it's been cut. And this is not just for those who tuned in and thought it's supposed to be about art and wellness. But this is all part of it. This is all part of, you know, when you look at yourself holistically, when you look at your life, you know, you're not just one part. So whilst there are some who will just, who are here for the art, this is a part of me that I wanted to share about the garden, because there's so many creative projects that I've got lined up that involve being out in the garden, harvesting things from the garden to use back in the studio, and I'll talk about a couple of them in a minute. But yeah, everything's just like overgrown, and you'll see it if you go to my gardening channel. You'll see how much things have grown, and that's if I get a chance to. I like to do it on the last kind of days of the month, so that you get to see, okay, well, that's the month end, and we'll see what it's like. But just let me put some cream on my hands. But the place was flooded. We've had some leaks in the house, and I've got a leak in my studio just behind me there. And we kind of really have to wait until the rain subsides, because it's too wet. The stuff that has to be put up there to seal, it has to be dry. So we have to wait it out and just get the little containers. Or like upstairs there was water that came in, like I've got a window up there that needs replacing, so I doubt if they do it in the pouring rain. So anyway, that was it. And then when I went outside, yeah, with Cole, he's jumping and leaping about and running off and seeing if his friend down there is my next door neighbour's dogs, if they were out. But it was too late. It was when I came in and looked at the time. It was when I finally looked at the time, because I'm thinking it's like after 10. It's like nearly 1 o'clock. And so it was just like, where did all the time go? Well, we know where it went. Time does go. Oh. Anyway, so the flooding out there, there was at least 3 to 4 inches of water out there, and again, I'll cover that in the gardening video. But I wanted to just, you know, make sure that you think about, you know, you're looking after yourself. So with the changing of the seasons, and depending where you are, you might not necessarily, you know, you might not necessarily have the 4 seasons. So we have two, the rainy season and the dry season. And I was thinking to myself yesterday, I think it was yesterday morning, when it was just like the weather seemed to really change, and we've had like a few days of weather change. And even though we're still in the rainy season, it really changed dramatically. And, you know, the clouds were all grey and, as I say, consistent, continuous rain. And it felt like, in my head, I said to myself, it feels like November. It feels like November. It feels like the, when I was in London, or when I'm in London, at this time, obviously, you know, you guys know, you guys experiencing it, the cold. And even me, look, I'm in my top, long sleeves, because for me, this temperature is quite cold. And I think it was yesterday, it was still in it was 28 centigrade, and that is, you know, in the UK or anywhere else, that's like a hot sunny day. But here it's very different. I guess you acclimatise differently. So it was just like, yeah, it feels like the end of the year, because what was happening for me initially, it's like everything stopped in March. And because we've had such a dramatic change to our daily life globally, it was just like, you were like stuck in a loop back there. I don't know if, you know, anybody else, if you've felt that you just like, everything just seemed to be on hold. And whilst for the first couple of months, it was just like, oh, you know, I'll get a breather to catch up. It was just like, but everything is just so weird that I just can't even compute it. And, you know, well, you know, we're all sharing this experience and we all relate to it very differently. And it's the effects on our mental health that we have to be mindful of, because you can't go through events like this and changes to your daily lifestyle without there being a further impact on your health and wellness and your mental health. And so whilst you might think, oh yeah, I'm fine, it's just like you've got to make sure that you've put in steps that addresses how you might really be feeling. And you might be somebody who suppresses it all, or has, you know, that's your coping mechanism. You just suppress it all, and you've been able to, like I was speaking to my sister-in-law, and she was saying, you know, they never actually shut down, and they were, because they were one of the essential services, providing childcare services to people who were also on the front line, that they, whilst they may not have, say, had a full week of work, they were still doing 2-3 days, or every other week, you know, 2 days. So they had this continuous kind of work pattern. And, you know, for a lot of people who were on the front line, they had that as well. But they had the intensification of, you know, the clamour for the services and the illness and, you know, the death that's also resulted. So we have to continuously take stock of how we feel mentally and our mental health, and what are you doing to address that. Now, when I think about how it's affected me, it's affected me in the way that it's not that I would be out all the time, and I guess when I think about it, I'd be out, you know, if there's an exhibition that we're preparing for, or that's an exhibition opening, or, you know, supplies, or, you know, the day-to-day, or even the beach, you know. And I was listening to somebody online, and they were saying since March, and we're now in October, they've only been out 12 times. And I was thinking, wow, you know, that's, I mean, I've been out more times than that, but I thought I was, you know, I hadn't been out as much. But it's like, I've been working on things that cause me to focus on, a lot of detail. So the sewing projects that I've been doing, and where normally if I wanted to kind of address some of my thoughts, I would be journaling. I haven't journaled. I've done art journaling instead, and I've been creating art journals, and I'll show you, I've been creating loads of art journals. But again, I've been going on the smaller side, because it's almost like needing to be able to control things in a situation where you're totally out of control, and making sure that you look after your health. So I've had I woke up one day and my eyes were really caked up, like I'd had an eye infection. And so I cleaned it up, and I thought, I need to be mindful of that. I know the day before my eyes were like really dry, and I don't have that. I don't normally have that. And so I thought to myself, well, you can't then be drinking enough water. And then when I thought about it, I thought, actually, what we used to do was buy bottles of water. We've got a filter, but between the three of us, it's just like you'd need to fill it up at least 5 times. But anyway, and so we started buying these bigger bottles of water, like the 5 litres. But I was going to it less, because when you have the smaller bottles, you can just reach for a bottle and drink it. So I realised that I hadn't been drinking as much water as I would normally. But, my eyes were really dry. And then, again, being out in the wet, I just felt a bit chilled. I feel a bit chilled. And I know that if I get wet, if I don't dry myself off, especially my hair, or you're wearing clothes that, I've gone out with the umbrella, but you're still getting wet, I start, getting sniffles, sneezing, and then that can develop into a cold, and it's just like I can't afford to get sick. So how are you making sure that you look after yourself? And in terms of your mental health, stay connected with people. I'm more staying connected with people online. And family, I've got friends that I ring on a weekly basis, or every other week, and my family. But it is just, how are people being affected? And like, my mum's in a home and they're on lockdown, so nobody can come in, and they've tried to devise a way where you ring, but it's just like, oh my gosh. So you just feel so it's just a whole different way of seeing things. So, mum can't hold the phone and she's not responding, but the woman was like, speaking really loud to get her to, answer the phone, and, look, your daughter's here. And I was just like, she doesn't have to open her eyes. She doesn't have to respond to me, but I know that she's listening. And so just hearing my voice is something different. And so the impact on the elderly is another thing that, again, we have to address. So as you're addressing how you're feeling, think about how other people may be feeling around you, those people that you normally see day in, day out, those people who you would connect with, find ways to make those connections. And I think that's probably one of the reasons why it helps me to do, the Arts and Wellness Café, because we all need time to kind of just sit and, whether you're going to coffee shops or not. Although I did see there was one place, like, where you go to, like, eateries, they weren't, you couldn't sit down, you could only collect and go, or have it delivered. And I did see a place where they'd put out the chairs, albeit 6 feet apart, but how are you, why not have coffee, have a cafe online, so you each come together, and and that's really one of the points. You come and we sit and we think about things, and hopefully I'm kind of sparking things that maybe you want to do in your life. So what have I been doing? So you've, if you've come online, you would have seen on Instagram, I did these little mini, been working on, as I say, smaller. And so I've created loads of mini journals, and I don't know, it's just like, once I start a thing, it's just like, I can't stop. But what I'll do is, at the end of the video, I'll show you some of these. I'll show you them. And my latest, where's the other one? How small can you go? Look at that. But it's soothing, and that's what it's all about. It doesn't matter whether, you know, there is a purpose for this, because it's addressing a need at this time. So that's why I want you to also think about how you're feeling. And when you think about how you're feeling, think about how you can express that creatively. Because sometimes you might say to yourself, look, I don't feel like creating. I just don't feel like anything. But you can do something like this. Look, I mean, this is from a project where I made some ink from avocado. That's the avocado seed, and I literally just came in and spritzed that. That's all I could do. And this is one of those sticky back labels, so you peel off the backing and it's sticky. And one of the ways I've been able to use it is in the journals. So when where I'm thinking to myself, do you know what, I know I need to do something, but I can't work in a big journal, because I'm not there. So, and you know what I mean, I'm just not feeling it. So let me work in a small journal, but I will show you these at the end. And let me just spritz. Somebody did ask me how I made the journals, and I will, you know, these little ones, and it's just like, that's all I could do. The other thing I did, I'm starting another fabric piece. And again, this is using the dye from the avocado seed. And what I did with this is, and I didn't use anything special to create this. When I first sprayed, and I will show you, I'll show you at the end anyway, yeah? But it's all done with this little spray thing. So I'll show you those, and yeah, all of the little mini journals that I've been making. So what, you know, watch until the wait till the end, and I'll leave a timestamp as to where the journals start. I find that working in the journals, I can just, you know, if I've only got a short amount of time, I can put something down, even if it's just a word, or even if it's just a doodle, I can do that. So yeah, I've been really enjoying it, and I've not been thinking too hard about it, in the sense that I'm just following what I'm feeling I should do. Yeah. The other thing I wanted to share with you is that I'm going to be having some digital downloads available, and I'll leave a image of them up there. They're my circles set, and I've got some batik inspired ones, and they'll be available. So I've got the digital download. It comes as either 2 individual kits, where you can get the alphabet numbers and words kit, or you can get the mixed media art kit. Or, so you can buy them separately, or you can buy them as one big bundle, and it comes with over 400 elements. So each of the, you know, so if you think you've got a page of collage split into 7, or you've got strips of, you know, collage and doodled, and it's rich in colour and rich in you can almost see some of the texture as well. So they're going to be available on my website, and won't provide the links here because I'm still sorting them out, but I wanted to, you know, give you advanced knowledge. If you wanted to receive a taster, I've got a 5-page taster of one of the circle inspired kits. Sign up to my mailing list, and you'll have to answer a couple of questions, and the questions are: what are you finding creatively challenging at the moment, and what new thing would you like to learn? So answer those 2 questions and you'll get a free taster of my digital downloads. So we'll have a look at the art journals and some of the eco dyeing that I've been doing, and I have to turn off my glue gun. Forgot it was on. Yeah, but take care, and let's come and have a look now at some of the journals I'm excited to show you, okay? And in another video I'll probably show you how, you know, you can work through them, or how I've worked through them, or even if you said to yourself, look, I don't even have 10 minutes, I've only got 5 minutes between this and this, there's a journal for you that you can use. Okay, so come on, let's have a look at these. Come on, let's go. Okay, so I wanted to give you an idea of some of the things that I've been working on recently, and it's all about making mini journals. And so I've got, let me do these first. Shall I do these? No, let me show you the fabric first. And I still do have to show you some of the fabric that I'm working on, that I've worked on already and shared some of the images. I haven't actually shown you the detail, and I've been doing tie-dye. Anyway, so I wanted to quickly just show you this. So, you know, it's very simple. So I took the spray bottle, and I literally just, when I first put the ink in the spray bottle, I spritzed it, and it created these large circles. And then I guess as the, it was getting used to be in the bottle, when I sprayed it, I then got, you know, more concentrated spaces. Now, I have said to somebody that what you should do if you want these to fix on the cotton, you'll probably have to, and I'm still new at this in terms of the mordant, iron mordant, so dip it into, I get a solution of rusty metal tins or whatever, and then dip the fabric in there, and then it will help fix the plant dyes to the fabric. And the other thing that you would do if you were working with, say, leaves and things, and you wanted to, maybe we'll do that with this, we'll see. Yeah, no, maybe we'll do that with this. I'm gonna experiment first anyway. So what I'll probably do is try and get some leaves from the garden. So this is the and I'll work on that. This is the paste that I made up. Why it's going? Oh no, it's going dark where it was exposed to the atmosphere. But this is the blended avocado seed, and what I do with that is that's where you get the resist in the fabric. Let me show you. I put some down already here. So I would put it down in a design or pattern that I want, and then what would happen is that there's water in here. There's like a, you know, it's got, I've mixed it with water, blended it. It was the water that it was boiled in, and it reduced, and then it was blended, and so there is a water content in there. And what happens is, as this thicker bit, the paste dries, the water seeps out, but the dye also seeps out. So you get, so what's created is a resist. It's really quite cool. So that's how I do it, and I do it in the design I want. So again, I'm going to be experimenting with that. And all I did with the paper is I've got like a sticky label paper, and I've just come in again and just spritz this. And what I would do is create some designs on the paper, like I might, you know, use my markers and create some symbols and shapes and things like that. And or not, and you can use it in some of the journals. And now let me show you some of these little ones. Oh, look, oh, these cute. So these measure, let me see how much they measure. They're like 1.5 inches, so it's 1.5 inches by 1.25 inches. So very tiny, but with these, you've got no excuse. You can't say I don't have enough time to create, because you've got, well, I never say that anyway. I never say that. I used to say, oh gosh, I don't have enough time. But I made these little mini journals, and all I did was, because this is sticky back, when I peel it off, and once I've made the mini journal, I just put it flat like this, cut it out, and peel off the backing, and then you've got the cover. So that's how I do those. And I was gonna go in with this particular one. Let me get you in a bit more. Come closer. Come closer. Come on. There we go. Easy does it. Yeah. So to decorate these as well, and I might use, you know, I could use Inktense pencils. They work really nice in some of the areas. It's up to me, really. Like, I've literally just taken a sheet like this, however it is, you know, spritz, however it is, and then covered these. But because they're on a small scale, it looks quite nice, doesn't it? And as I say, what I'd probably go in and do is just where there are white areas, just go in with my Inktense pencils and add some color in there. Do let me know if you're new to the channel. Do let me know if you would like to see some tutorials. It's always nice to get feedback, and I'll show you from start to finish how these are made with the eco-dyed, well, the inks from the eco-dyed projects. I mean, I probably will make it anyway, but it would be nice to get your yay or nay. Everybody says yay. I hadn't planned to do this bit, but we have to do what we have to do for creativity now. I've just literally got a lid here with some water, and that's all I do. Just kind of activate the colours. I'm not worried about them mixing. Again, this could be an activity that you've just managed to grab some time to do. You've got a mini journal and you want to decorate the front, and it's not going to take any time at all. And you don't have to do everything all at once. You know, sometimes we say, you know, I haven't got time to do this, and you're in your head, you're thinking, oh, I've got all these things to do, and I have to do them all now, but you don't at all. See, that was just like under 5 minutes to just colour those in, and you do what you want. what you feel like, and then you can come back in. Like I can come back and add some additional details or dots or stars or whatever it is, but I'll show you some of the others that I've made. So they're you know, like these mini 1.5 inch journals that I'm going to be adding to the page. Now when I if you joined me and saw some of my taster lesson for the life book, you would have seen what I call my mini paper packs. And so I literally just have packs of paper, and if I've cut up paper and used paper, then they would go in here, and even this might go in there, and it's sitting there waiting for a time such as this, where I'd say, oh, I need to find something to put in the journals. Like I've got blank space, so what do? And I literally I would reach in for one of these and I would find, so this one has got stuff in it. So I'm going to take this, and where's my glue stick? So you get a little mini session. And again, not worrying about, so I'm going to put it that way because I want to, this says life began in a garden, and it's just I was doing some stamping and I stamped this and hadn't used it, and I just stamped it on a thing with a leaf background, so I'm literally going to cut it out. And we've got a page that's now got something on it, and we can add to it. Like you don't have to be afraid, just let me cut the back bit off, you don't have to be afraid of that blank that white page there. And again, I could come in and I feel like adding some colour here, some colour here. It's about the garden, so I've got the leaf in the background, but I just want to add some green there. Oh dear, it fell in the water. Let me put this over here, and I can either do it as you see me do it here, or what I would also do is just go through the book and add paper to the page, and I would pick whatever paper comes to hand at that time. So I might say to myself, okay, let me just use all these up and fill these in. It's not to say that this image is what's going to be left on this particular page. I might add gesso and I might add something else, who knows. But then I might go into the paper pack and again just take out, what's the first thing? That's the first thing that comes, and I might, you know, go and add it to a page. So just working through the books like that. If you don't have a lot of time, you can just be adding paper, collage materials to the page and just see how you get on. So the other thing that I did with the avocado dyed paper is again make another bigger size journal, which was this, and in the pages I've added some of the avocado ink here, but I've also then gone back and added some lines, and then I've come back and done some colour, and this is setting me up for when I do, let me show you this side. Actually, let me show you the journal itself. Look at that, isn't it pretty? So what's happened is when I added the avocado paste to the paper, I didn't take it off. So then I've sealed it with Mod Podge. See, but you've got some really nice texture there. And then I've gone over it with a gold rub, and I've then added some detail here, and I might even add some more, who knows. But what I did next in this book, you will see, oh, I did it in the middle. I started to add, so after I added some lines, I've started to add some lines with pen. And then I had some more time and I just added, you know, black and more detail. I might come in and add some additional colours in some of the spaces, but I'm leaving myself something that I can be creative in, and I'm leaving them all over the place. Not leaving them all over the place in my house, but I'm making loads of them because making them is a nice creative activity, and then actually working in them, you know, whether I am going to add, you know, papers, cards to the pages, and then that's now ready for me to come back and do something else, whether it's, right, I'm just going to put gesso on this page. Now, you could, again, if you're saying to yourself, oh my gosh, I really don't have time, you've got time to do an inch. You've got time to do something on that. And, you know, if you say to yourself, well, the time it takes me to drink a cup of tea, that might be 10 minutes. I'm going to put that into, I can still have my tea, or whatever it is, or whatever break you think you're going to go on, or take it with you on a bus, or, you know, when you're traveling, or if you're waiting, and you can take a pen with you and then do some doodling. You know, wherever you go and you've got to wait around, take something with you so that you can actually do something in it. And this is something that I did recently. Oh my gosh, let me show you these. Look at these. They're cute. Anyway, so there we go. There's no excuse. Yeah, these are small, tiny little books that I've prepared at different stages, and I've left for myself to be creative in. So now your turn to go off and do something creative. I hope that's been inspiring. Thank you for joining me for Arts and Wellness Cafe, and I will see you soon. Remember to keep an eye out for these digital downloads, and they're actually great for adding in art journals and in your creative projects. So, okay, so take care, and I will see you soon.